a joyful experience for me because they were good and intelligent questions on the topic on which I was speaking. Let me begin with a very small story. You know, I am a short story writer. I'm not a very meritorious short story writer, but I do write short stories. So I'm fond of beginning my speeches with short stories and sometimes punctuate my speech with short stories. This is a story about an old man and his 24-year-old boy. Maybe many of you would be familiar with the story, but I found it particularly relevant to the idea of this workshop. Actually, what happened, a 24-old boy, I should call him a man, who's a boy who's 24 years, and his old father were traveling by train. And the 24-year-old boy was seeing out of the train's window, and he shouted, Dad, Dad, look, the trees, the trees are going behind. Now, the dad smiled, didn't say anything. But a young couple who was sitting nearby were intrigued. They couldn't understand why this boy was shouting like that. So, but they didn't say anything. They just looked puzzled, intrigued. But then suddenly, that boy, 24-year boy shouted again. Dad, look again. The clouds are running from us. The clouds are running from us. They are running with us. Now, it was the time for the couple to say something, they couldn't resist. They said, old man, this boy is behaving in a very strange way. Why don't you take him to a doctor? The old man smiled. He said, we did. And actually we are coming from the hospital. This boy, my son, actually he was blind from his birth. And today he got his eyes. Now the young couple, it was a time for the young couple to keep mum. They could understand the poignancy of the situation. But what is the moral of the story? What does this story tell us? This story tells us don't judge people before you truly know them. This story tells us don't jump to conclusions. This story tells us don't make hasty generalizations, because this is all fallacious thinking. And this fallacious thinking is the enemy of all kinds of research, honest research. So, to be a fair-minded, honest and objective researcher, you should first learn to be a critical thinker. Now I am referring to a concept, a new concept, that is critical thinking. It's not so new, but for many of us it could be new. It is very popular in the United States and Europe. Critical thinking should be actually the foremost part of any research methodology. This is my view. It has to be at the root of all research in all fields, including language and literature. Now, what is critical thinking? And before that, what is thinking? Now, thinking is something we know. We do it. We do it every day. This is very much a part of our human nature. We cannot live without thinking. We are born to think. We are born to die as well as we are born to think. We cannot leave thinking. We cannot live without thinking. So, but the problem is, how well do we know how well we think? This is the problem. The question is how to think rather than what to think. And quite often, when our thinking is left to itself, it is biased, distorted, partial, prejudiced, uninformed, and unfocused. So if we have this kind of thinking, then we'll not be able to do fruitful or meaningful research. So in order to do a fruitful, meaningful, relevant, logical, fair-minded, objective research, we need to learn critical thinking skills. Now, critical thinking basically involves the act of how to think rather than what to think. This is what I said just now. Critical thinking is actually a self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-corrective thinking. It entails developing and employing certain thinking skills, certain intellectual standards, and certain dispositions. Critical thinking skills are conceptualizing. They are the abilities. They are the abilities to conceptualize, to apply, to analyze, to synthesize, and to evaluate the information gathered from or generated by our observation, our experience, our reflection, our reasoning, or our communication. Now, besides these skills, there are intellectual standards to be applied to thinking, such as clarity, accuracy, precision, relevance, depth, breadth, and logic. Now, in order to be a skilled critical thinker, one needs to inculcate certain intellectual traits, virtues, or you can say dispositions, such as intellectual humility, intellectual courage, intellectual empathy, intellectual autonomy, intellectual integrity, intellectual perseverance, confidence in reason, and fair-mindedness. Now, intellectual humility means having a consciousness of the need or consciousness of the limits of one's knowledge. By intellectual courage is meant a consciousness of the need to face and fairly address ideas, beliefs, and viewpoints towards which we might have very strong negative emotions. Having a consciousness of the need to imaginatively put oneself in the place of the other is intellectual empathy. Intellectual autonomy involves having rational control of one's beliefs, values, and inferences. Intellectual perseverance implies having a consciousness of the need to use intellectual insights and truths in spite of difficulties, obstacles, and frustrations. Confidence that in the long run, humanity's higher interest will be served by giving free play to reason is actually confidence in reason. And fair-mindedness means having a consciousness of the need to treat all viewpoints alike without reference to our own feelings, biases, or vested interests. Now, how can we learn and develop critical thinking skills and these dispositions and standards? To me, that the best method of developing critical thinking is through questioning. We should be able to question things. We should be able to question to ourselves, what is what? Why is it so? How is it so? And so on and so forth. So questioning is very important, Critical thinking, which is learned through questioning, will help us have an out-of-box thinking, out-of-the-box thinking. It can help us in thinking of alternative solutions to problem solving. It can help us have creative thinking even. It can help us have an unorthodox thinking. It can help us in many, many ways. It can help us become a very good researcher, an honest researcher. Now let me give you an illustration of another very, very short story of an unorthodox doctor at this point. An unorthodox doctor who always thought beyond prescriptions, pills, and medication. Now, I think at this point you are reminded of Munna Bhai MBBS. That kind of doctor, that Munna Bhai MBBS kind of doctor, once said to one of his regular patients, he said, "Look, I'm starting to suspect that the best medicine for humans is love." Now the patient, was surprised. He was intrigued. He was even shocked to hear this. He said, "Okay, doctor, what if love doesn't work as medicine?" The doctor smiled and said, "Increase the dose. Increase the dose of love." How unorthodox answer, this was. It is possible only when the doctor must have been very proficient in critical thinking to have given this kind of answer. So when it comes to questioning, we have to be careful. We should be able to ask the right question at the right time, at the right place. And if we don't do this, we don't learn this, then some catastrophic results might take place. Some kind of intellectual catastrophe might take place. Now, let me give you, to conclude, let me give you the example, an illustration of a very, 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 very short story. You have to be very attentive in listening to it because it just begins and ends. So you will be able to understand what can happen if wrong answer is asked at the wrong time and at the wrong place. The story begins. His guardian angel whispered to Fabian. Fabian is the name of a character. His guardian angel whispered to Fabian behind his shoulder, "Careful, Fabian. It is decreed that you will die the moment you pronounce the word Doyen. D-O-Y-E-N. Doyen." Let me repeat. What did he say? The angel, "It is decreed that you will die the moment you pronounce the word Doyen." And what happened then? Doyen asked Fabian, intrigued, and he dies. This is the result of asking the wrong question. What did he do? What did Fabian do? He simply repeated Doyen. It was one word question, and he died. So this is like asking the wrong question at the wrong place and the wrong time. So we should be able to, when we think of learning critical skills, critical thinking skills through questioning, we should be able to frame our questions in a very intelligent way. And we should ask the questions, the right questions at the right place at the right time. This is all. Thank you very much. I thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity to address the participants of the workshop in the valedictory function. It's my great pleasure, privilege, and honor to be with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words and sharing your ideas on the critical thinking. Actually, it is a part of the research which will give us another insight to the research scholars. So, the putting or the asking the right question at the right time or the right moment will also give us a kind of position to come into right conclusions or the right answer of the right question. So because the research is also a part of the question, because it is the question in which in charts of which we follow or researchers follow. Thank you very much, sir, for your sharing these thought-provoking ideas on the critical thinking or the putting questions at the right moment or the right time or the right place. So actually, I'm sorry I forgot to tell about that. Sir is also the author. He's a teacher and the author and a critic. Sir writes the flash fiction, who has introduced us newly to all the participants the idea of the writing flash fiction or the technique or the methods of flash fictions. So we didn't know about the flash fiction. Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us or giving your valuable time in this particular occasion. So now next, I would like to invite Sujata Gurudev, Professor Sujata Gurudev, who is the senior professor in the Department of English, Tura campus, Nehu. Ma'am has enlightened us with different four wonderful lectures, which was enriched with the thoughts, the informations, or the different references, or the name of different authors. Ma'am has also engaged with activism in environmental activities or environmental related different kinds of eco-friendly life. I know it that ma'am has been actively involved with such kinds of environmental activities. So I welcome madam to this valedictory functions, and I request madam to speak a few words in this particular occasion.
Thank you, Dr. Rustam. It gives me immense pleasure to be here to share this, this platform with this wonderful August audience. And especially we have the erudite professors with us, Professor Patnaik and Professor Dugar, and Professor Patra is also here. And we have all these wonderful participants, each one a professional in their own spheres, as well as the wonderful conveners, Dr. Rustam and Dr. Pratusha, who have been, tirelessly, working out at this workshop. It was a massive endeavor, and I think it has seen success. And what I have really learned about it is that coming to this workshop, especially this particular one, has been a unique experience because of the kind of ambience which the whole workshop has, the kind of atmosphere. And it's also true about the participants. We've had a very, very wonderful audience, a very receptive audience. Now, there is only, and I found that I was able to share a lot, and that is because of the enthusiasm and the energy levels, which were very, very high throughout. I had 3 classes, and I can't believe that I just got through them. And Professor Patra, who had asked me to, give these lectures, and I have always, every time I have come to Boruland University, to the Department of English, and I have found it a unique experience. Each one has been different, and thank you. It's been wonderful. And I'd like to sum up whatever I have been telling you all with just one very interesting, idea, which we as researchers have got to make that balance between the West and the East. Now, it's very, very interesting. When you talk about enlightenment and the age of reason, the discovery of reason, and you talk about utility, rationalism, and all that, that is very much, the foundation of the Western civilization. And you've got a lot of theoretical premises that come from there. And the very surprising thing is, and this is so unique for any researcher, for anyone who wants to look into it, that where the Eastern thought comes in, enlightenment comes in when the mind ends. To be free of the mind is enlightenment. Have it, call it Buddhist nirvana, call it the Vedic mukti, call it anything, the Japanese, Chinese, any version. The mind ceases. And yet there is pure consciousness at play. So when we come across things like the pandemic, the one message the pandemic has given us is that we need to move beyond. We need to move beyond the mind. We need to move into a consciousness space where other species can play their roles and part, because we are an organic world. And I think that was a message which, for me, because we were given so much of so much of freedom with the choice of subjects, it was very easy to go deep into it. And this is what I have loved about this particular workshop, is that it seeks to break new grounds, and it encourages both the scholar and the resource persons to meet in a platform of a dialogue, a space. And I think what I feel most close to, the kind of empathy that it creates. We have a space where animals, plants, the whole atmosphere, the galaxies, everything, it's a multidisciplinary space. So when we talk about multidisciplinary, we bring in various aspects into research, and that gives a dimensional quality to research. You can almost have research at the 2D level, which is just like a black and white photograph, or you can do it in a multidisciplinary way where you bring in so many areas of thinking, of analysis, that we get a blueprint which seems to be almost like 3D, 4D, 5D. It's like an interdimensional space. And since we are looking at a multiverse, I think more such workshops, and I find, especially Bodoland University with English department has been very, very prolific in this. And I think it's very encouraging. And I would like to congratulate everyone involved in this, and say that, yes, when we look at the multiverse, we need a multidisciplinary approach, and we need to have the freedom and the space for research to grow. Very, very healthy research. And I think that is the freedom of, of being able to approach your subjects. That is very important. So I think that is there. And I can see that the interaction was beautiful between the resource persons and the scholars. It was a very, very wonderful thing. So I like to thank you all. And I would, convey my best wishes for any future projects, and Bodoland University, and especially English department, which I've interacted with so often, and as well as others I have met when I have visited in person. I would like to say it's been a wonderful experience. So thank you, Professor Patra, thank you all the conveners, and thank you for giving me this wonderful space. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your lovely, sweet words. So we are delighted to hear your word, madam. So you have again put us to the world of cosmology or biocentrism, which you have put during the time of your lecture. So you put us in a different world, in the world of biocentrism or cosmology. So thank you, madam. So next, I would like to invite our Professor P.C. Patnaik, Prakash Patnaik, sir. He is a senior professor. I have already introduced before you. So who has been spending his time with the study of the folk life and folk material or folk culture, or the culture across the nations or outside the nation. So Shah has already delighted us with his four engaging lectures in the field of the folklore or the folk culture or or the interdisciplinary studies. So now I would like to invite Professor P.C. Patnaik sir to share his few words in this particular occasion. Please, sir.
Okay, namaskar. Thank you, Dr. Brahma, respected Professor Patra, all the officials of Borderland universities, two conveners of this program, and as Professor Gurudev said, they have done wonderful job throughout. And I know the advantage of holding a program where you don't have to sit, but here you are compelled to sit along with the participants to meet their requirements and problems, if any. I'm also sure that this topic has already been discussed on the first day, but I wanted to play with certain words, dividing it what actually we wanted to do in these 2 weeks' time. Our target was rethinking. So the from research we have taken, and we attempted to rethink, and rethinking on ethnicity, gender, and history. Those the 3 areas were demarcated. We have started rethinking on many aspects of human requirements. And for that, what we need is a methodology. To undertake research, a methodology. Therefore, research methodology. And in this program, we also tried to justify that methodology is not confined to one discipline. We can use the same methodology or methods of research across disciplines. And the last part is the best part. We have properly utilized our time, our resources, and technology during the pandemic and, of course, the post-pandemic period. You know, when I started thinking about it, all of us, I'm the resource person, Professor Digar and Professor Gurudev also have experienced that, say 30 years back or before that, we had a refresher course, almost equivalent to that. Now UGC is very kind to reduce it to 15 days. In our time, we did 3 weeks. And in 92 and 94, in both the times, I was doing refresher course in linguistics in CIEFL, Hyderabad. That time it was CIEFL, now it is GP. So first week was very, very interesting for us. And there also we are compelled to sit. And then second, slowly, you know, we start also neglecting when we were there as participants, and also the organizers were losing interest. Of course, there were a couple of good linguists in CIFL that time, and looking after the language stream of the, IFLO, CIFL. But what we gained that time, perhaps we are remembering and trying to overcome some difficulties out of the knowledge we had gained during that time. You see, Professor Digar told a story. I am also taking you to the father-son relationship. In class 4 and 5, while doing mathematics, people used to ask us, the age difference between father and son was 25. What will be the age difference after 10 years? Then people say it will be 35, because we are not applying that mind. It will remain 25 always. Why am I saying that? All the research person who have spoken to you, they have that age difference. So whatever they have experienced during that gap period or difference, they have shared with all the participants. And 2 weeks rigorous program, 6 hours in a day. As a result, we could touch many untouched areas. Perhaps the participants did not think that they would get so many things within this 2 weeks' time. So how this was possible? At one point, we have the host university and the conveners. They are there to control. Speakers at one side and participants at the other side. And they are the link between these two groups, the resource persons, speakers, and the participants. And of course, the participants were more worried for the output. As a result, we could cover wide range of subjects, wide range. I was looking at the brochure they had sent to me. Of course, some topics were not mentioned there, but whatever topics were mentioned, we could know that we have covered wide range. So what is the purpose? When we were doing refresher course, we were cutting jokes that this has been arranged to refresh our mind without refreshment. And that exactly has happened now also. Sitting at a distant place, we are sharing our experiences. One side, the research persons are giving their ideas based on their experiences, and at the other side, the participants are trying to receive. They are definitely trying to receive, otherwise they would not have come with some questions. So this is the beauty of this new arrangement which we have acquired now. Whatever problems we had, I was told, also mentioned in my lecture. This crisis, this situation has taught us many new things. It has taught us how to explore new areas, new ideas, and also adjust with whatever we are having. Even sitting at a distant place, we could interact. We could get some idea how to revisit new areas, how to revisit the old areas, and how to visit new areas, how to explore new areas. And in the end, while talking, Professor Dugar has talked about critical thinking. But there, I thought, okay, let me also throw some light to another area. Because I remember I have told that think less. I did not mention about critical thinking. I said think less and analyze more. Because as a field worker, what we used to do and what I advise my students to do, not to question. And that questioning is not critical questioning. There is a difference. I advise not to question in the field, only to watch and listen. That was my advice in my lecture. So if anyone is confusing that one research person said, don't question, only watch and listen, and another scholar is saying, go for thinking, he has used the word critical thinking. And that you need after you collect the information. What I said, during the collection of information, data or material, whatever you call for your, need for your research. But by doing that, we tried our best to develop our skills. Skill of thinking, reading, material collection, analysis, and also we got certain ideas for their application. And what more we expect from a faculty development program. You see, we are not speaking to the children. All of us are teachers. Only we are sharing experience. We are here today. After some years, you will come to our place and start giving your ideas, sharing your ideas. So it has encouraged, I'm sure this program has encouraged the researchers. They have understood, those who have already done research, they have also understood some new things. And those who are in the process of doing some research for the academic degree, they have understood the meaning of research. What is research? It is very ordinary things here. Now, ordinary usage also we told. I will prepare a new dish and say, this is my research, this is the outcome of my research. But that research is different from the research we use in the field of academic knowledge. Then how many choices we have? There is no end to research. That's why it is re and search. So how many choices we have? We got definitely a lot of ideas on that. Then when to apply and how to apply, that is research methodology. This questioning is always question why, what, and how. How is the research methodology? Why is the topic of our research? What is the topic of our research? And why are we doing? Definitely to find out something new, and in the end to submit in the shape of a report in a systematic way, and which is otherwise called scientific. We have also developed positivity in the sense that even if I'm staying at home, I am trying to put my maximum effort to interact with you. And I am sure you are also doing the same thing. You are staying at home, you are trying to gain the maximum. Not for the purpose of the test that was conducted today, for future. And also, you'll start questioning based on your critical thinking, critical questioning what Professor Dewey said. So pandemic has not stopped. Pandemic has not stopped our movement, our process of learning, our interest to learn new things. Rather, it has taught us how to utilize the time, how to utilize the resources, and how to utilize the technology. We are not compelled to do that, but our interest has developed and we are interested to do that. In nutshell, if I say, it has given lots of opportunity to meet people from different parts of the country, to again to engage both the participants and the research persons. Research persons, when they come and speak 1 hour, that doesn't mean that they don't come with any kind of preparation. They prepare even sometimes 4 hours or 5 hours, depending on the ability of the person. Or sometimes, if I'm interested to say something new, I should be ready with my answers, will be ready thinking that what would be the questions that are going to come from the participants. So we all have worked hard. Listening is also a skill. So that again check the patience of the participants. And what we got to know that there is no end to this learning. Therefore, the new things that is coming now, lifelong learning. So we don't require anything, but we require lots of things. In the process, I have learned a lot from you. And I know you must have learned, but may not be that much what I have learned because your number is more. We have also learned to listen 1 hour, 1.5, listen, sitting and listening. And of course, definitely, we are expecting something to gain out of that. And we have learned to go beyond the traditional practice of teaching and learning. We have now entered into a new era. National education policy or no national education policy, this pandemic has taught us that explore whatever available before you, and which we have been doing in the post-pandemic situation. Of course, we cannot, it is very early to say this is post-pandemic situation, pandemic still continues. And last but not the least, what the participants want is the certificate. And that, so long they are going to use that, they will remember both the coordinators, the department, and some of us, may not be all of us, but they will remember Dr. Pratisha and Dr. Brahma, they will remember you definitely. They will look at the certificate and they will remember you. And no words, I enjoyed all the lectures I gave, and I've seen some feedback also. I love if there will be more questions in future. So all the best to all the participants from my side, and congratulations to the department, the head of the department, and especially to both the conveners and my Lord and co resource persons, Professor Gurudev and Professor Dugar. I'll also look for another opportunity we'll meet like this. And thank you very much. I have taken my time. Dr. Brahma had allotted me 15 minutes. Thank you, Dr. Brahma. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your lovely words, and you have graced with your sweet words, valuable words about this particular valedictory function. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and thought which you have shared with us. So we are grateful for your valuable time and valuable ideas, sir. Thank you, sir. So next, I would like to invite our head of the department, Professor Pradeep Kumar Patra, sir, who is the main filler of this entire program. So I would like to invite her to speak a few words in this particular auspicious occasion. Sir.
Good evening, everyone. This is E.C. Patnaik, Professor Sujata Gurudev, and Professor who are present here as guest of this valedictory session. And I am very happy that they have consented to be the guest because I know they have delivered a lot of lectures and with which they might be very tired. In spite of that, they have supported us in a big way by having agreed to deliver the valedictory speech. And this shows their warmth, and this shows their high sense of cooperation. Even I personally feel that I am not able to do that much personally for them. And my high sense of respect and gratitude and everything. So in fact, we have had a lot of program earlier, and because of the pandemic, many of the things have hampered. But at the same time, we do feel that more of opportunities have come. And with this webinar that we had earlier and with this workshop specifically, I have felt that in spite of this pandemic, we are very close to each other, although we are physically not available and we are not in one specific place, but there is no problem and no bar for being united, for being one in mind and spirit. So that is what it has shown. And I'm thankful to each and every resource person for having taken up new ideas and new perspective with which they have spoken, and they have spoken keeping in mind the pandemic. And we never thought that the pandemic would come and this will change our course of research, study and research. We are never ready for that. And it just came, we are unprepared in many ways, not only in other fields of life, but also in academic life. Even though we were unprepared, now that we are halfway through, maybe halfway through the pandemic, we feel that gradually we are being prepared and we are getting ourselves ready to face the pandemic. And we have thought a lot how to look at the how to look at our literature, art, and culture, not just from conventional angles, but also from pandemic angle. And each and every esteemed resource person has contributed enormously in that line. So, coming to the participants, so we have 63 participants, although every day nearly 40 or 35 participants have been joining. Whatever might be the reason, I do not want to discuss. Uh, one thing is sure that they have put their heart and soul in talk, and I strongly believe that they will find their way out of this pandemic, at least in the field of research or at least in the field of study. And with this workshop, I feel that they are never stagnant. They might never be wondering, asking themselves, what is after this? And how can we do with how can we deal with literature, social science, or art? So the point that I want to focus on is that they have got definite answers and they have got definite inspiration and they have got insight. And even more interesting is that the entire workshop has contributed their line of thinking. And once this workshop is over, it is already over. And I'm sure that each and every one is taking up new line of research. Those who have not completed PhD, they are going for PhD, keeping the pandemic in mind and going for new areas of research and with new methodologies. And those who have completed PhD, they are taking up research writing in various journals with new mindset. So that is what we do feel. And I do feel that this is not just the students and researchers of these universities that they have been benefited, but also the researchers of other universities, this particular region, and the researchers of all over India have been benefited somewhere or other. So this is what it is. And at the same time, we have developed an understanding. We have developed an understanding of the pandemic and how to negotiate with it. And that is very important. And our guests have delivered valuable speech, and we also want to listen from the participants. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your few words on this particular occasions and your appreciations and your valuable words in this particular occasion. So now I would like to invite some participants to share their experience with us, with our guests. So first of all, I would like to invite A. Vishub Basar. So are you there in online? So please share with us a few words about your experience. A. Vishub Basar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaskar. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Can
yes,
you
you are
hear me,
audible.
sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes. All right, sir. Respected dignitaries present in the Valedictory program of 15 days FDP workshop, respected conveners of the precious FDP workshop, Sir Dr. Rustam Brahma and Madam Dr. Pratusha and participant friends. I would like to share few words with you, sir, that the workshop was conducted efficiently and was well managed by the organizers. Kudos to you. There were wonderful, engaging, and brilliant lectures from the esteemed resource persons. I consider myself very fortunate to have ever much valuable lectures. They were excellent and brilliant in trace sense. We will miss you, sirs and madam. We expect such a wonderful workshops, seminars, conferences in the near future too. All the credits goes to the organizers. Once I thank from the bottom of my heart to the organizers for providing this space and telling and letting us to explore ourselves in the vivid areas in this FDP workshop. Thank you, sir and madam and entire team members of the workshop. Department of English, Bodoland University. A big hearty congratulations to Madam Dr. Pratyusha and Sir Dr. Rustam Brahma, and also to the Department of English, Bodoland University for successful conduct of workshop. Let's keep in touch in due courses too. Thank you. All stay safe. This much from me, sir. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, sir, for your few words about your experience, for your lovely words. So next, I would like to invite Dr. Niru Barne to speak a few words on this particular occasion, to share with us about your last 14-day experience. Please, madam.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I am very much thankful to organizer of this workshop that they have such a idea to do this workshop. As I am not wrong that your workshop is decided before 2 months ago, just from August. Since then, I have decided that I have to join this workshop, and so it is really very my brilliant decision to join this workshop. If I did not, definitely I will lose a lot of information, lot of ideas, lot of knowledge in the absence of this workshop. So really thankful by my heart to each and every organizer and coordinator of this workshop. So let me have few ideas what I have observed through this workshop. That I want to say a few lines. किताबों की अहमियत अपनी जगह है जनाब, किताबों की अहमियत अपनी जगह है जनाब, सबको वही याद रहता है जो वक्त और लोग सिखाते हैं, सबको वही याद रहता है जो वक्त और लोग सिखाते हैं. So I am very much thankful to each and every resource persons. They are show us a very brilliant path, and they enlighten us with their great knowledge and more information, different theories, ideas regarding the research methodology. It opens a new gate for new researcher writing with their provoking ideas. So really thanks to each and every person. And the interaction section, which I like the most, that we get opportunity to discuss our questions in a very well manners. And special thanks for Pratyusha ma'am, Rustam sir. They both are very patientful, that they never regret, they never show their anger our questions. And I furthermore say that as we know that every coin has two aspects, so definitely there are a lot of positive ideas regarding this workshop towards my side, but a little bit I want to say that a few lectures are too speedy, and definitely there is a lack of some recorded lecture which we demanded for us. Due to technical problems, we can't unable to listen their informative lecture. So I request all the organizers and coordinators, sir, please manage these problems also. So above all, my experience was very good. I am very grateful to each and everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for your few words on this particular occasion. Madam is actually from UP, ASB College, Aligarh, UP.
Right, sir. Right,
yes,
sir.
Earlier speaker, our participant AB Shubha was from Gangtok, Tadung College, Gangtok. So next, I would like to invite another participant to share a few words, Dr. Sampok Borali. So yes, sir, you are present there. So please share a few words with us about your experience. Dr. Sampok Borali. Borali sir is absent. So I would like to invite Susma Kumalambam, madam, to speak a few words.
Good afternoon, sir. Respected Head of Department of English Bodoland University, respected conveners, Dr. Rustam Barma, Ma'am Pratusha Bomik, respected resource person present here, and my dear participants. I would like to express my immense pleasure of the lectures delivered by the resource person. It was so resourceful, enlightening, and stimulating, and has made us come in contact with so many new terms and ideas that we were unaware of. Sir Paritos Dugar talked about flash fiction, which we have so far had no idea about. It gives us immense pleasure to hear him talk on that matter. Then Sir Prakash Patnaik also, the topic he talked about folklore and folk life. It was so interesting that we had have not enough obvious lectures, sir. And I would like to say that all the presentations made by the participants were so enlightening. So we can see that all the participants have absorbed so many ideas, new ideas that we have heard throughout the workshop. I would like to thank each and everyone concerned with this workshop for their immense hard work, and on the part of the participants also for making this workshop a successful one. Thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam, for your uh, sharing your experience. Madam is from DM College of Commerce, DM University. I think from Manipur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I forgot to
Thank you.
introduce myself.
Thank you, Madam. So next, I would like to invite Prakash Pokhrel. Uh, Prakash Pokhrel to speak a few words on this particular occasion, basically to share your own
Yes, sir.
experience.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. I am Om Prakash Pokhrel, Assistant Professor, Gyanpit Degree College. Respected Patra sir, HOD, Borland University. Respected Rustam Brahma sir, Convener, Coordinator Ma'am Pratyusha Bhaumik, and all the honorable resource person, Prakash Patnaik sir, Paritos Dugar sir, Sujata ma'am, and all other resource persons, those who beautifully delivered their insightful lectures. I, on behalf of all the participants, thank all the honorable resource persons for their beautiful explanation of the particular topics. It was really a great experience for me, especially to be the part of Borderland University's this workshop program, because I myself is one of the teacher. It's heavily raining, sir. Here, I don't think I'll be really audible.
You are audible.
I
You are
myself,
audible, sir.
yeah, okay, sir. It's heavily. Uh, I'm so happy that I myself for being the part of this Border University's this workshop program, because my college is also under Borderland University, affiliated under Borderland University. So that is one way really great to be in touch with the Borderland University, and especially the topic that the university have taken this time, that is on the research methodology. That was really helpful to us, because as new resource areas are being explored, so that will give us really a great help to all the new research scholars. And I must thank the Madam Coordinator ma'am for being so friendly with us, and Rustam sir also very friendly. They're always bearing with our irritating messages regarding this, regarding that, all the queries we kept on putting on them, and they were not tired of replying our queries. Thank you so much for bearing us, Madam and Sir Rustam. I remember last time, in the 2 months back, I had done FDP, that is under Mizoram University, and I remember that doing that FDP of 21 days and doing this workshop of 15 days, I found a little bit difference between these two. Even though academically it's okay, but when I was doing under Mizoram University, I did not get the opportunity that I am getting here, like to interact with the resource person, keeping the video on and asking the questions, and from the university side, giving all the privileges to the participants to be bold enough, to be frank enough to ask the questions. And this really has molded, kind of, got that opportunity to actually express what actually we wanted through the workshop and all. So thank you so much for giving this beautiful opportunity to express ourselves and to be more, in touch with the Borderland University, with the faculty members of the, special English department of the university. Thank you so much. It was all the way, it was great, successful. I think all the participants will agree that, the workshop has really given us really insightful, really it is thought provoking, and then probably we are going to explore new ideas, new thoughts in our research area in near future. So at the end, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the head of the department, Borderland University, Patra sir. Also special mention to our Vice Chancellor sir and Rustam sir, Pratisha ma'am, all the people, who were on and off the screen behind the, program. There were so many other people, I think, those who were so much behind this program to make this a grand success. From my side, I would like to express my gratitude. Thank you so much. And hopefully looking forward in the future to take part in more such programs. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash Pokhrel, for your good words to us and for your sweet words for sharing
Okay,
your
sir.
own experiences.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, last one more participants, I would like to invite Rito Brato Chatterjee. He is from Bengal, assistant professor in English. Recently, as he has reported, he has joined Bengal Board of Secondary Education. So, Rito Brato, are you online? So, please share a few words with us.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible, Rito Brato.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank the English Department of Borderland University for organizing the 15-day research methodology workshop. I also thank you, Professor Rustam Brahma and Professor Pratyusha Bhomik ma'am, for taking such a dynamic role in organizing this wonderful workshop. The organizers have done a wonderful job in bringing in so many erudite academicians from different universities of the country. I, on my own, have some experience in organizing different workshops and seminars at my institution. And from that experience, I can tell you how much stress the organizers have to take to arrange so many teachers for 15 days at a stretch. Thank you once again, and thank you for your cooperation and always being there to help the participants. The workshop had been very successful. I presume most of the participants will agree with me on this. Before concluding, I would like to say to both the coordinators that if you decide to publish the proceedings, please inform us so that we can re-edit and submit our papers to you, re-edited papers. And last but not the least, please keep the WhatsApp group intact so that we remain attached with you and your university so that we can participate in the future seminars, workshops, lectures, conferences, whatever you decide to organize. Thank you once again to both of you, and thank you, Borderland University.
Thank you, Rito Brato Chatterjee, for your good words and your appreciations of this particular program. And now, basically, I don't want to mention anybody's name. So, if somebody from the participant, if you want to share a few words with us about your last 15-day experience, so they just I want to give a sense only for the last. a moment because it is a time constraint. So please come up and speak a few words about your experience. If somebody wants, because we cannot invite by the name all the participants. So if some one of you are interested, so please come up and speak few words about your experience.
Sir. Sir.
Wonderful. Yes, please.
Sir, respected partner, sir, respected partner, sir, Brahmo, sir, Omik ma'am, and my dear participants. Really, we got many new experience and valuable information regarding pandemic, research methodology, ethnicity, many other new things we have learned by this FDP. Really nice program organized by Bodolan University Department of English. Various eminent scholars provided various latest information regarding various new things. So it is a very nice experience for me, nice program, really a great experience for me. Hope further again such programs be organized. Thank you so much, sir. Again, sir, all the faculty members related to these programs. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your kind words to us. Before going to conclude, I want to declare here that we are organizing another international webinar on the 13 and 14 September. So if you are interested, you can participate. Still, we are accepting abstract. So that particular international webinar is on rethinking aging, disease, and that in 21st century. Rethinking disease, rethinking aging, disease, and that in 21st century. So this is the topic of the forthcoming international webinar on 13 and 14 September. So we are still accepting the abstract. So if you are interested, so you can write abstract and you can send. This is the announcement about the forthcoming program in the department. With this, this is the time of conclusion. So I thank all the wonderful participants for participating in this particular FTP workshop. So without your participants, without your presence, so this program would not have been successful. And I feel the shade, or I expressed the shade for those participants who registered but could not participate in this particular program for different personal reasons, or their fevers or different kinds of other personal engagements. They informed me they could not continue their presence in this particular FDP program. So I thank all the wonderful resource persons, erudite resource persons who have delivered wonderful lectures and contributed certain kinds of new ideas or perspectives, the thoughts in the field of the research in different fields. We have come to an end of this particular long day program of 15-day workshop on research methodology across discipline, gender, ethnicity, gender, and history. So now I would like to invite our co-convener, Dr. Professor Romik, to propose a lovely vote of thanks, a warm vote of thanks to all of us. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, before that, I would like to, Dr. Rustam.
Okay,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Before we part, I would like to thank once again, from the bottom of my heart, the organizers of this workshop, especially Professor Dr. Rustam and Dr. Pratusha, and above all, Professor Patra, for organizing such a wonderful workshop, and for inviting me to share my thoughts, my views as a resource person, and also as a guest at this valedictory function today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Our gratefulness is also to you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, so,
Super.
okay, so my job is to thank everyone. So, let me begin. This is the grand finale of the 15-day workshop on research methodology, with specific focus on gender, ethnicity, and history against the background of the pandemic. Most of the participants hopefully have benefited by coming across possible areas of research, especially in the changing times, besides being aware of the methods which ought to be applied. We didn't have just study and research, we also developed understanding and fellow feeling towards each other. For 15 days, we had a platform for relationship at each and every level, individual and institutional. I'm sure it is not just our scholars, but also the scholars of this region and the country who would have benefited immensely from this discourse. So I'd like to begin by expressing my gratefulness to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Borderland University, Professor Laisram Laddu Singh, for his support and encouragement towards this workshop. My sincere thanks to our head of the department, Professor P.K. Patra sir, for being the philosopher and guide at each and every step and being a source of motivation and inspiration to us. My heartfelt gratitude goes to the respected resource persons for their valuable time and sharing their knowledge with us. Without their help and cooperation, the program would never have been possible. I'm thankful to my departmental colleagues, especially Dr. Rustam Brahma, for being my constant help and support in managing and conducting the whole event. I'm also grateful to the participants for joining the workshop and for their active involvement, which made this whole endeavor so successful. Overall, I enjoyed working with you all, and it has been my absolute pleasure and privilege to coordinate the program. Last but not the least, my thanks goes to the university authorities and Dr. Manoj Deka of Computer Science Department of Bodoland University for his help and assistance in running the workshop. Thank you, and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you so much. And before we sign out, I would like to respond to Dr. Varshne's comments that there was a reason for not giving the recorded videos of the lectures, because otherwise we have seen, and because there is this tendency to not be present at the workshop and just depend on the recorded videos. So now that the program is over, we are going to, because we have recorded all the lectures, so we are going to give it to the resource persons and also to all the participants. We are going to share all these things with you. I hope you understand our concern, right? So because
Yes.
being the organizers, it's
Thank you, ma'am.
kind of responsibility. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, and we will also be going for a publication, hopefully. So this is the thing, and please do not worry about your certificates or any kind of thing. Give us some time so that we get, we have to prepare certain things. We have to, look at certain things. So do not worry about anything. And it was I'm very happy that, and I can see participants sharing all this, comments, like posting these comments that we are going to miss each other. Even if it's virtual, I can see that we have developed connection, and that is so, it's so overwhelming for me as the person who was like talking to you all. So thank you so much. Thank you for all your responses. And of course, our Patnaik sir and Professor Dugar sir is here. Them basing the valedictory function, it has been the cherry on top. So thank you so much to both the sirs.
Thank you, Professor, for your the lovely words or your board of thanks. So once again, I would like to request the participant, please give us at least a 1 week time, because we need to evaluate your MCQ test and your presentations. And we have our exam, again, PhD exam will start from the day after tomorrow. So please give us some time. So once again, I thank all our honorable guests who are present in this particular occasion. So for your time and valuable words, we express our heartful gratefulness and thankfulness to all the honorable guests present here. Well, thanking all of you. So we conclude this particular valedictory function. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll see you again in our next program. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir and ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, welcome. Thank
Bye
you.
bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Experience,
Bye, ma'am.
really
Bye, ma'am.
nice experience.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye,
Bye, ma'am.
everyone.
Bye, sir.
Sugar sir, namaskar. Namaskar.
You are wonderful people, and it was only wonderful people who do wonderful things.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
That's
you.
very true.
See, now nobody wants to leave, you know, sir?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Bonding got so strong.
Okay.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, see you again. See you. Thank you. Thank you for your all lovely words. Thank you for joining this workshop.